Now, well, probably the next time I think I'll go into a little more detail on redemption because that's such an important Bible word, redemption. You know, it'd be funny if it wasn't so tragic, really. I mean, so many of these key Bible words, you have people that go to church week after week, year after year, and have no clue what they even are. You go to the average churchgoer and say, define for me redemption. I don't know. I mean, if somebody asks you what redemption is, could you tell them? You should be able to. I mean, it's a key Bible doctrine. And yet we're so inundated with just motivational messages and instead of really understanding the Bible and what it's saying. But redemption is a key word, and if you understand your redemption, it helps you to take hold of your deliverance from destruction. Deliverance from destruction. The word redemption means to deliver by paying a price. To deliver by paying a price. We were delivered by Jesus paying a price, his shed blood. We really get an understanding of redemption when we get into New Testament. There's three primary Greek words that are translated redemption, and each one of them has a different meaning, but it gives us the full-orbed understanding of redemption. The first one is agorazo, and that means to buy in the market. The agora was the marketplace. When I was a student at Ohio State University, they had the main street with all the bars and the clubs and the stores and everything was called, interestingly enough, High Street. Back in the 60s and 70s, that was very appropriate. High Street. We used to get high on High Street. And one of the venues there that had rock concerts all the time, and go there. I did more than my fair share there, getting drunk and going to shows. That was called the Agora. The Agora, the marketplace. I had no idea it was a Greek term, a biblical term. But the first, and that's a word for redemption, and it means to buy out of the market. To buy out of the market. So we were slaves to sin, slaves to Satan, and Jesus bought us out of the slave market. That's redemption. He bought us out of the slave market. Now there's a second word for redemption, and it means to remove from further sale. To buy out of the slave market is one thing, but then to remove it from further sale. Say, not only have I bought this, but it'll never be sold again. And that's another word for redemption. So Jesus bought us out of the slave market, bought us from sin and Satan, sickness and disease, and he removed us from further sale. He said, you'll never go back. You're redeemed. You are redeemed. Removed from further sale. It speaks of the finality of our redemption. And then there's a third word for redemption, which means to loose or set free. So here's the picture. We were slaves. Jesus bought us out of the slave market, removed us from further sale, and then set us free. Hallelujah. Said, you're free. Whom the Son sets free is free indeed. Hallelujah. We were released from slavery, released from captivity to sin and Satan and oppression and bondage and all these things. We were set free from the guilt, the penalty, and the power of sin. Set free from the guilt, the penalty, and the power of sin and its consequences. And one day, in our final redemption, we'll be set free from the presence of sin. Hallelujah. So that's redemption. Exodus 14:31 says, "So the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the seashore." That's a picture of our redemption. God delivering the children of Israel out of Egypt. He bought them out of that, he removed them from it, and he set them free. And Exodus is the book of redemption. And here's what it teaches. We'll have this on the screen. Exodus is the book of redemption. It teaches us 4 things that help us understand redemption. Number 1, redemption is wholly of God or totally of God. We can't redeem ourselves. We can't save ourselves. We can't buy ourselves out of the slave market. But thank God, he did. Secondly, redemption is through a person. God used Moses as a deliverer to deliver them from slavery. God sent Jesus to deliver us from slavery to Satan and sin. And then thirdly, redemption is by blood. Children of Israel, in order to have redemption, what they have to do, they had to put the blood on their doorposts. If they didn't put the blood on the doorposts, then the redemption didn't help them. The death angel passed over when he saw the blood. Jesus shed his blood to redeem us. And then fourthly, redemption is by power. By the power of the resurrection, God set us free. Hallelujah. So, we are redeemed out of destruction. The blood of Christ redeems the believer from the guilt and penalty of sin, 1 Peter 1:18, as the power of the Spirit delivers from the power and dominion of sin. So Jesus' blood delivers from the guilt of sin, the penalty of sin. And the penalty of sin is sickness, disease, oppression, calamity, fear, worry, anxiety, all forms of bondage, addiction, loneliness, depression, all that's the penalty of sin. And the power of the Spirit delivers us from the power and dominion of sin. Remember, the book of Romans tells us, sin shall not have dominion over you, shall not have power over you. Now, that's got to be apprehended. It's got to be laid hold of. It's got to be epilambanoed, katalambanoed, seized. So, let's go then to Psalm 107, verse 19 and 20. Psalm 107, verse 19 and 20. Notice this. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distresses. Kind of sounds like he redeems our life from destruction, doesn't it? He saved them out of their distress. Then look at verse 20. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions.